Welcome back to the Sunday Business Page.
Our program has gone this morning from too much water along southwestern Pennsylvania's rivers to a serious drought in South Africa. Because of a lack of rainfall, high temperatures, and failing infrastructure, at the Camphors Dam in Kimberley, South Africa, adult flamingos were forced to abandon their hatchlings. To help save almost 2,000 flamingo chicks, an international effort has begun with volunteers helping to care for these desperate birds. The National Aviary in Pittsburgh sent its avian specialist, Terry Grenzinski, to help. Dr. Pilar Fish is Director of Veterinary Medicine at the National Aviary. She joins us now with more on how this rescue mission is being conducted. Doctor, good to have you on the show. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here.
Let me ask you about flamingos. I think they're beautiful birds. And recently on a trip that my wife and I took to the Caribbean in Bonaire, we saw all these wonderful pink flamingos. They mean a lot to a lot of people. I didn't know that we had a crisis in flamingos.
Yeah, well, flamingos are very special birds. We know they're beautiful and they have very specific needs. They live in large flocks and they have to eat tiny little krill or shrimp, and they're totally dependent on the water. So in South Africa, it is the lesser flamingo that they're near threatened in status. And what happened is this is the time of year that they build their nests and raise their young. And because of this drought, unfortunately, the parents had no food or water, and they had to abandon their chicks to even survive.
It's just hard to imagine that, because even in the animal world, that's very, very uncommon for a parent or a mother to abandon their baby.
It's true. They're dedicated parents, so it really shows you the magnitude of this crisis. And there were over 1,800 tiny, helpless chicks that needed immediate attention.
So you sent your avian or bird specialist from Pittsburgh to South Africa?
Yes, she's there right now. And what happened was these flamingos were actually airlifted by the Wildlife Department to rescue centers throughout South Africa. And there's one in particular called Sand Cobb that the National Aviary has worked with in conservation programs for decades. Well, they called us knowing that we have hand-reared flamingos and asked for help.
Wow. So what exactly is happening, Pilar? Is Terry down there feeding these little babies?
Yeah. So what happens is these little chicks have incredible needs. They have a special feeding formula that has to be made, special temperature, fed every 3 or 4 hours, and they grow incredibly quickly.
Wow.
So as their legs get long, they have to have exercise.
I think we have some photos. I'm not sure if we've put them up yet. I guess there's one behind us of who is this?
That is Terry Grenzinski, and if you notice, she's wearing pink. They're trying to really make everything natural for these flamingos, that they're actually even seeing the colors that they'd be used to with their parents.
And I know that baby flamingos are not pink. It takes a while for them to develop that pink coloring, right?
Yeah, they grow into that. And actually, this is going to be an extended process. It takes a few months for these flamingos to get to adult size, and then even later for them to turn pink.
Are these birds going to survive, I mean, once they are grown a little bit, without that animal attachment to a parent? Can you put them back into the wild?
That's an excellent point. We are raising them with techniques so they don't imprint on people. That's one reason they don't talk frequently, and they are just feeding them and wearing the pink. So there's specific protocols, and that's one reason why these centers reached out to the National Aviaries, because we can teach our best practices.
Sure.
And Terry is working side by side with this global rescue community in South Africa now, tending to these large numbers of flamingo chicks.
Is this just a problem in South Africa, or is there a shortage of flamingos? It didn't seem to me, I was off the coast of South America, and it didn't seem to me there was a shortage of flamingos there, but they have plenty of water there, I know that.
Right. There are many different species of flamingos, and they're all throughout the world. And so, but in Africa, these lesser flamingo species are near threatened.
Wow. Well, let me ask you, since we have you on the show, I always have to ask about the National Aviary. This is a wonderful time of year to go to the National Aviary, because if you're tired of the gray, drab weather in Pittsburgh, you step inside your building and what do you see?
Oh, it is green, it is lush, it is warm. I think it is the perfect place to come to in wintertime in Pittsburgh. It's perfect. You get to be in the middle of the tropics and you're surrounded by birds, including our flamingos.
Including your flamingos. And I know it's warm, and you do get a sense that you're not in Pittsburgh when you go to the aviary at this time of year.
Yeah.
So has tourism been really important to you?
It is very important to us. We really encourage people to come out to the aviary. It's our nation's aviary, to come and visit birds around the world and really hear about environmental conservation and see it put in action, because the birds that you visit at the aviary, like our flamingos in our wetlands, they're the very important ambassadors for their species. So now you can come and visit and see. We have a Flamingo Fest next weekend. We have a daily flamingo feeding, and we actually have a special encounter where people can sign up, go into the wetlands on the little beach, and the flamingos will come up and mingle with them.
Wow, you could actually mingle with flamingos.
Flamingo mingle, yeah.
I'm not going to get that word if I try saying that 3 times. And the bottom line is that the aviary, besides giving us an opportunity to see these birds up close and personal, is also engaged in really serious conservation efforts around the world, internationally.
Yeah, the National Aviary is so pleased to be part of this global effort to save these flamingos, and it's really one of our missions to continually do conservation work.
Well, Dr. Pilar Fish, thank you so much for coming in on the show today. We really appreciate all the work that you're doing, not only for flamingos, but so many other animals and birds. We appreciate it. Thank you again. We'll be back with more of the Sunday Business Page in just a few moments. Stick with us.